Right, good evening YouTube. Right, bit of an update on my Sprinter. As you can see from what you can see here, I have actually got some insulation. I've got 50mm Celotex in the floor, plyboard on the top, some bubble wrap before the plyboard. This bubble wrap coincidentally goes all of the way around and stops there on the roof and there on the roof. I've just got that last little bit to do and to plank the roof. So there's 25 and 50, well mostly 50mm, but 25mm where I couldn't get that, and where I couldn't get that I've got loft insulation in all the walls. So that's all good. So we're all pretty well insulated at the minute. I've got the wood burner in. I think you can see that in the corner of the screen. The wood burner's in and working. Kitchen unit, I've quickly bolted that back in, or screwed it back in, just for now, just to see, you know, how we're looking. But behind me is the big change, because I have a bed. I spent about 2 weeks sleeping on that camp bed and it gave me a bad back. Yeah, I've had enough of that camp bed. It's good for an emergency, but that's about all. So I've got 2x2 framework here, half lap joints I've done on that. So that's the 2x2 framework. I've got that is screwed to the wall, to the metal rib halfway up under the windows. I've got 12mm ply on top of that, and then these are the sides from a pine bed. I've cut them down to the width of the van, and then I've got some 2x3 and stood that 3 inches high on the bottom, and that's giving me the nice air gap underneath. I've got the bed lats on there like there would be on a normal pine bed, and my cushions on there, so that's fantastic. It is a bit high, hence the reason I've built this plyboard box, which is a firewood box. Now this is 130 centimeters deep, I think they say, for a drawer or something. I've got to try and find some hinges, not hinges, some drawer runners. Now these drawer runners need to hold this drawer 130 centimeters long. I want to be able to open it all the way out this way and all the way out the back doors. I also want to be able to stand on it so as I can get onto the bed, because it makes for a very good like step up to the bed, shall we say, and it helps Billy get up there as well. So I've got to try and find some hinges, some runners for that. So yeah, but we're looking pretty good, I think. I've had some brilliant night's sleep on that bed since I've got that sorted out, which is fantastic. So yeah, we're getting there. I've done a deal with my mate, and I've sold him my alloy wheels, my bull bar, and the 2 rock sliders, I think you call them. I've sold him those, and he's given me his steel wheels. So my van now looks like any other van like this, apart from the chimney out the roof. But I've been told if I paint that orange, that'll look like a flashing light, so I may do that. So yeah, sold all them bits, on standard steel wheels. Fantastic, so I'm quite pleased about that. I've made, because I've got no curtain at the back of the cab at the minute, so I've made some covers for the window, some screens from the double bubble insulation that I got off my mate. There was just enough. I've managed to do all of the cab windows, and when I put a window in the side there, I should hopefully have enough to do one for that window as well. So that worked out quite well, to to be perfectly honest with you. So I'll have all the double bubble stuff for doing the windows, and all the stuff I brought that will do all the rest of it, which is fantastic. The wood burner I brought on the internet from Windy Smithy, a flue, what do you call it, flashing, a flue flashing. It's like a rubber thing, Sikaflex it to the roof, few screws in there as well. Job's a good one, slides over the pipe. It's not leaked yet. I've not had no leaking issues, which is very good. I brought a bracket. The stainless steel bracket cost me £20, and I had to modify it, make it a little longer with a piece of threaded bar, so as the stovepipe is actually fixed to the van light. Yeah, so that's done that. And I've just got it stood on some checker plate at the minute, which that's doing the job. So I've got my burner in, that's all good. So I'm keeping nice and warm, as you can tell, because it's bloody cold out there now. So yeah, hopefully, I hope that by Christmas I'm going to have this oven working, this grill working, gas rings on here working, and the fridge rigged up and working. I have had the fridge running on 240 volt, 230, 240 volt, and it works a treat. So that's all good. When I took the spotlights off, I removed all of the wiring, and I now have a relay, and I believe that that relay is the relay which I will want to wire the fridge to the van for when it's running. So when the van's running, the fridge is running 12 volts. That's my plan for that, so we'll see how we go. I've still got to sort some wires out, because there's going to be a back wall at the back of the bed there, basically all the way up to the top, so you won't see those back doors. But in that wall I want 12 volt and 240 volt basically. I've got 12 volt, but I've got to run a 240 down there, so I've got to do that. I've got a couple more lights to run for wires. I need a couple more wires for lights to run. I've got to put some wires in for this as well, because this has got it's got a clicker thing, but I don't know quite what to do with it, or what it is really. This thing, APCO Kigas model 6BG6893. It says input 1.5 volts DC, but then somebody's written in a permanent marker over the top of it 12. So yeah, I have wired it up to a 12 volt source, and it does go click 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 click, so I'm not quite sure how that should be wired up really, but we'll have to look into that. But I think that should do the electric ignite for the oven and the gas rings, and I'm hoping the grill as well. But yeah, I need to look into that a bit more yet. So yeah, that's how we're kind of looking at the minute. We're getting there. I've not been very good at filming while I'm doing it, because it's been a bit of a rush to get it done. I've not really known 100% what I'm going to do, so it's been a bit sort of, you know, and while you're living in a vehicle and doing all of this, it is not easy. I mean, I can't say I've got all my stuff in here, because I've got very, very, very little stuff. But in order to actually get on and do some work, I'm having to clear everything out. Yeah, and it's just a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, right, I think that's about it for this video. If you've got any questions or comments, put them in the comments below, and I'm going to be doing a questions and questions video, questions and answers, comments, you know, all that sort of thing. I'm going to be doing one of those soon, so yes, questions and comments down below, and the next week or two I'll be doing a video on that, because I've had a lot of interesting questions, and I just haven't got around to answering them. I do like reading all of your comments, by the way. I do think it is rather amusing, some of them, shall we say. So Rigsby, I remember that name, Rigsby. He sent me a few emails a while back, and he was converting one of these as well. He should send me some pictures. Yes, I'd love to see some pictures. I never replied to the email because I never do reply to emails or comments or anything, but I do read all the comments and they're brilliant. So right, that's it for now. Billy's all snuggled up next to the wood burner, keeping warm. I don't blame him. So we'll see you in the next video.